Them Sharks, baby! Put some respect on our name. Woo! What a game! What a win! Guess who just went into one of the most hostile environments in all of hockey against one of the best teams in all of hockey and swept one of the best teams in all of hockey and one of Canada's best. Well. Y'all can't see my camera because, unfortunately, my camera is having some issues right now. I dropped my phone in Arizona, so I cracked my phone, and so the camera doesn't look good. But, I am in such a joyful mood right now. I am in such a great spirits right now that it's a great day. It's been a great day. It's been a great weekend from all the upsets happening in college basketball to the hockey world where the Sharks went into two of the most toughest places to play in all of hockey in the Boston Garden, TD Garden, against the Boston Bruins and also against the Montreal Canadiens and beat both of those two teams coming off a couple of games in which, look, the San Jose Sharks, I'll admit, they did not play their best, right? They didn't play their best. They couldn't close the deal against some of the two teams that they absolutely should have beaten. And you're worried, like, okay, West Coast team having to go into the East Coast, travel all the way there. It's going to be tough. Like, this might be the death knell on our season right there and then. But here's the thing, folks. The Sharks have always been faced with this. We started off 0-6. Oh, our season's over. This is the death knell. We had a great month of November. Then December hit, and then we kind of struggled. Oh, is this where we're going to fall back? Or, is this time? And then in January, we go on a 5-game losing streak. Oh, is this the end? And then to end the All-Star or to end the first half, we go on a 5-game losing streak again. Oh, is this the end? Every time this team has had their backs against the wall, they've had their moment where it's like, this might be the time where our season is about to come to an end. Our season's over. We're not making the playoffs. The playoffs chase is over. They respond in emphatic fashion, man. And that's why I love this team, because they've got so much heart, they've got so much grit, and they've got just so much tenacity just to fight. Like, that's why I love the Sharks so much, because this is a young team. This is a team that isn't supposed to even be close to being here in the playoff chase, and yet here we are. We're in March. We're about 18 games from the NHL playoffs, and the San Jose Sharks are in the thick of the playoff race. In fact, we hold the last wild card spot in the Western Conference. I mean, who could have ever predicted that for the San Jose Sharks? What a great win tonight was. To face adversity early, to battle back, battle through all that gut punches and things like that, and to come out with a strong, epic win against the Montreal Canadiens says a lot about this group. By the way, before we get into that, into the game itself, just want to say, if you guys want to chime in here on the post-game show, feel free. There is a link down below in the YouTube comments. You guys can click on that link, log into StreamYard if you don't have an account, and then I can add you guys in to the show. But yeah, let's get into it. So the Sharks go into Montreal. We beat the Canadiens. Final score of 4-2. Macklin Celebrini had 2 goals in this game. Colin Graff had 1. Mario Ferraro with what ended up being the go-ahead game-winning goal for the Sharks in the second period. Look, the Sharks, right? They started off very cold. The Montreal Canadiens had a goal that was taken off the board, but then they score like a couple minutes later. But then I think the biggest thing was Igor Chernyshov gets just absolutely hammered in the head. The headshots continue. And let me tell you guys this. I hate to go on a rampage, but I have to, right? All these other teams in the league are now headhunting the San Jose Sharks. And it's just absolutely ridiculous to see that crap that's going on the ice right now. Like, they're playing dirty. They're trying to intimidate the Sharks. They're headhunting, and it's bullcrap, bro. Like, this isn't just like, oh, the Montreal game. No, we're talking about what happened in Boston where Charlie McAvoy, dirty-ass hit on Kiefer Sherwood. Thank goodness Kiefer Sherwood is still in one piece, let alone his head is okay, for crying out loud. The Oilers hit Macklin Celebrini in the head when we played them. The other players were getting hit in the head. Michael Misa, I think, got hit in the head. It's like, why? Like, and they're not calling for any like penalties. Like, that's BS, bro. All these teams are just headhunting the Sharks because they can't beat us. They can't beat us, so they're gonna injure us. That's what's happening right now. And I'm just so sick of it because Igor Chernyshov, I hate to see the fact that he goes down. That is nonsense, dude. This guy just came up to the big leagues. He's a very talented player, and you got these dirty ass teams all across the NHL, from the Oilers to the Bruins to the Canadiens. Every team is gunning for San Jose because they know we're the future of this league. We are the team that is going to run this sport. We are the team that is going to provide massive revenue to save this sport, and they can't handle the fact that that's the case. And they're headhunting. The last 7 games, I can tell you, each and every game, there's been at least one instance of a headhunt, from like I said, the Sherwood getting hit by McAvoy, dirty ass hit that was in the Garden right there, to Igor Chernyshov getting headhunted tonight, head hit right there, to another head hit. Like, it's just nonsense. It's just so BS what's going on. And I'm going to need Gary Bettman and the NHL to wake up before it gets too late. They tried to hit Celebrini. They hit Sherwood. They hit Chernyshov now. Like, when is this going to stop? That is not hockey. That is just dirty ass play on the ice. That's what that is. And you could say, like, oh, Isaiah, you don't know hockey. You don't know what you're talking about. I might not be the best at knowing hockey, but you know what? And you know what? You talk about the NFL being really bad in terms of like, oh, headhunting, concussions, all that nonsense. The NHL is getting up there with the NFL in terms of headhunting. It's just absolutely awful what's happened. Like, I'm for players. If this was another team, I would be saying the same thing. If this was the Kings, I'd be saying the same thing. If this was the Golden Knights, I'd be saying the same thing. If this was the Oilers, I'd be saying the same thing. If Matthew Schaefer got hit in the head, I'd be all up in my arms about this. This ain't just the Sharks thing. This is a concern for players' safety. And it needs to end. It's just so BS what goes on and what has happened, man. It's just utterly nonsense. But hopefully Igor Chernyshov is okay. I mean, he was sent to the hospital for tests. It was a very sobering moment. It was a very it was a moment of just, where everybody in the stands were quiet. Hopefully he's okay. Very scary. But yeah, I think sadly this is going to probably knock him out for the year, given that injury, and you're trying to protect the players and things like that. But this has to stop. This has to stop. This headhunting of the Sharks has got to stop. And it's just utterly ridiculous. But anyways, hopefully Chernyshov's okay. But look, the Sharks, they get off to a slow start. They give up a goal. Chernyshov gets hit. He's out for the game. It was really scary, like I said. And then they responded, right? It looked like they just hit the second gear. It ticked them off, and they responded. Macklin Celebrini with an unreal goal. I mean, this kid, I can not just say more about this kid. This kid is just so freaking special. He's so freaking dynamic. He is going to be the face of this sport in the next couple of years. I'm telling you all that right now. That's how special he is. People are finally and starting to wake up to the fact that this kid is amazing. Actually watching him play. He had a goal. Then Colin Graff with a goal, or no, it was Mario Ferraro with a goal to make it 2-1. Colin Graff, another short-handed goal. This guy is just everywhere, dude. Colin Graff is one of the most underrated players in the National Hockey League. This guy is just at the right place at the right time. He's always like that. You never see him in the wrong spot at the wrong possible time. Colin Graff defensively was outstanding tonight. And then, you really have after that, you really have Macklin Celebrini finishes it off, empty net, swats it in, and the Sharks win. But what a response by the Sharks from seeing your teammate go down to seeing like down 1-0 to respond the way that you did is absolutely incredible against one of the best teams in the National Hockey League. Like, it's just incredible what the San Jose Sharks, what they did tonight. Macklin Celebrini, 2 goals tonight. Absolutely incredible. Colin Graff with a goal. I thought Misa had some really good shots. Eklund, you can kind of see that he's slowly starting to get out of his funk. He had a goal the other night. And also, it looked like he had some really good shots as well. It just didn't go in. But Alex Nedeljkovic was awesome tonight in the net for the Sharks. I know he had that early goal, but look, he was outstanding. Nothing but love for my man, Alex Nedeljkovic, the goalie for the San Jose Sharks. But yeah, this just pure blasphemy of the headhunts need to stop. Everybody knows that the San Jose Sharks are the team of the future and the team that is going to run the National Hockey League. They can't stand us. They can't stand that fact. So they rather injure us instead. And that is BS by what's going on in the National Hockey League. I've been wanting to say that. I've been wanting to say that it's bullcrap what's going on. And I hate to use strong language, but I'm absolutely going to use it. I hate to say that. But it's bullshit, dude. 6 games where there's 6 instances of our guys getting headhunted. It's an absolute disgrace. Gary Bettman wants to talk about, player safety, this and that. They want to talk about, the NFL is so damn violent and so damn awful in terms of headhunting. How about the NHL? 6 straight games of headhunts by the San Jose or against the San Jose Sharks. Or we're not going to take care of the player. We're going to just turn a blind eye to that fact that players are getting headhunted. It's a disgrace, man. All these players that have hit the Sharks, McAvoy should be suspended for the rest of the year. I'll tell you that. The guy that hit Chernyshov should be suspended for the rest of the year for that nonsense, utterly disgraceful hit that happened tonight. I'm all for players' safety. Like I said, if Matthew Schaefer had gotten hurt, if Alex Ovechkin has gotten hurt, if a Ducks player had gotten headhunted and had been headhunting the teams have been headhunting the Ducks for 6 games, I'd call the same action. Don't think I'm saying like, it's just the Sharks. No, I care for players' safety, okay? Don't tell me the NFL is violent, too violent for this. When the NHL, you got the same bullshit going on right now. Anyways, but yeah, I want to say that, great win by the Sharks tonight. What a win. What a tremendous, tremendous game for the San Jose Sharks. But anyways, guys, I also want to say one last thing about this is people think that, hey, I go over the top in terms of sports. I ain't go over the top. That's what I'm going to say. I don't go over the top in terms of nonsense like that. I don't go over the top, but what a game by the Sharks. What a game. NHL. This is why no one watches your damn sport, because you got this headhunting that is going on. It ain't stopping. You just turn a blind eye on nonsense like that. The the Islanders never got a penalty for any of their headhunts, which is disgraceful. McAvoy got no penalty, no suspension whatsoever. So you're gonna promote this violent act? It's just absolutely disgraceful. That is why you are the 4th-rated sport in terms of the major sports, because ain't nobody gonna watch that nonsense when you got people promoting. When you got like your sport promoting these disgraceful, violent acts that should not be in the sport. It's absolutely disgraceful. But guys, I appreciate you got some comments here in the comment section. Appreciate some people for not coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. All I want to say is this. The other thing I want to say about the Sharks is, look, this is a young team. We're in the playoff race now. We got a big game against Ottawa coming up tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Um, Look, for a team like the Sharks, they're young. If you want to get into the playoffs, you got to win these double headers, right? You got to win these back-to-back games, right? I know it's tough. Your legs aren't fresh. You're tired, things like that. But you got to suck it up and you got to win these types of games. And so that's going to be a big game tomorrow for the playoffs. I think Seattle right now is tied with the Canucks, or Seattle's up on the Canucks 2-1 right now. Other scores to look at: you got the Penguins leading the Mammoth tied with the Mammoth 2-2 right now. But I want to welcome my boy Shardo Gupta onto this program. Very special guest, one of the most avid fans of hockey out there, maybe the most passionate hockey fan out there. Shardo, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, what's up, Isaiah? How you doing tonight?
Not bad, not bad. Last night was
Man,
kind of rough at my.
it's always great coming on your show,
Yes,
man. I'm a big fan of your network. I love
yes,
all your content you make.
appreciate it.
Keep up the good work. Keep getting a lot of people on.
Yep.
The San Jose Sharks beat
What's your
the
take on the
Canadiens.
game?
My take on the game was that the Sharks beat the Canadiens. I mean, it was a great win. We're on a two-game winning streak. We beat Boston, and now we beat Montreal. So we're on a two-game winning streak. So it's looking good right now for the Sharks. But I just gotta say, the Sharks are very inconsistent
Hmm.
in the way they play. They win a couple of games. They go on a really good string of wins. They lose, and then they go on a string of wins, and then they lose. Let me get your take on it. You think that this team is inconsistent? I mean, they're a really good hockey team, but the way they play is just like you gotta win. You gotta get a string of wins in a row. Like you can't go on a 5-game losing streak, then win three, then go on a losing streak, and then win a couple of more games. You can't do that. It just doesn't work. The way this league doesn't work that way. You know,
No, I
you gotta
get it.
win all the games that you gotta win, right? Even if even if it's against the tougher teams, you still gotta win all your games.
Yeah, no, I think this team is inconsistent, but I also think this team is very young. And when you're a young team like the Sharks that aren't supposed to be in this spot where they're contending for a playoff spot, because listen, Shardo, my expectation before the season for the Sharks was, hey, let's get a winning record, right? Because we hadn't had a winning record since 2019. Like, let's get a winning record. And then the playoffs. If we do make the playoffs, that would be awesome, but that would be like a cherry on top of the ice cream. But let's just get a winning record. So the Sharks have already exceeded my expectation. So right now, like anything that they've done, it's just awesome to see. They're a young team. They're not supposed to be in this spot right now. Remember, this is supposed to still be a rebuilding year for the Sharks, but they're ahead of schedule. They're learning how to be a playoff team. And I know there's going to be like growing pains, like, hey, they're going to be inconsistent at times, but that's just like, sadly, that's just the young team trying to learn how to, be in that position because they haven't been in this position in a very long time.
So, like for me, about the NHL player safety rule, where I want players to be safe. I think that I don't take this whole thing that NH. I mean, I know NHL is a violent sport, and they're gonna keep it, but I don't think that's an excuse. Like that Radko Gudas on Austin Matthews, where Austin Matthews is out for the year. That was like the most
Yes.
like, what is this thing about NHL being all violent? I think this is what I don't get about this whole thing. Like Matthews is out for the year. Chernyshov just got I think it was Igor Chernyshov against um M- Mike Matheny from the Canadiens. I think Chernyshov is a good player. I think he's like a young upcoming talent. Coming, they got him. They recalled him from the Barracuda, the HL, a minor league development team. They got him from there. But like, I love what this team is going. But like, the inconsistency is something that I just don't understand about. That's one thing that this team needs to focus on, and they have to win. I mean, in NHL, you're not going to win every game. You're going to lose some games. So that part, people need to be realistic about this team, and they need to
Right,
go in the
right.
realistic direction.
Yeah,
You
and
cannot win every game. That's not
no.
how this league works. You are going to lose a couple of games. You cannot win every game. And if Shark fans think you're going to win every game, we're going to go on this Cinderella run. That's not logical.
No, I understand what your point. But my thing on the well, first of all, my thing on the Igor Chernyshov hit is like enough is enough, dude. Because I've watched the last 6 Sharks games, and there's been like in every game, there's been an example of a Sharks player getting just violently hit in the head. I don't know if you remember if you watched the Islanders game, but Macklin Celebrini was elbowed in the head by I think Bo Horzat in that game, and he had to leave the game. It was crazy, or he left the game and he came back. But then last game against Boston, Kiefer Sherwood, one of our newest additions, this dude just like it was a random like dude. It was Charlie McAvoy. He's not even making a play for the puck. He goes right at the head of Kiefer Sherwood. That's not acceptable, dude. And now Igor Chornyshov with this, like with what happened today, like I'm all about player safety, dude. Like I just want the players to be safe. I know what's going on right now. All these teams are jealous that the Sharks have all this young talent. They're the future of the hockey, and they're going to win a lot of Stanley Cups moving forward. They don't, they're jealous of us. So they're trying to injure us, and that's not okay. Like, I don't want to see guys like Celebrini, Chernyshov, and others, all these young kids, anybody go down. And when you're seeing these reckless acts of like other teams, like just going for people's heads when they're not even making a play for the puck, like that's disgraceful, dude. Like that really is disgraceful. Like that Charlie McAvoy play on Kiefer Sherwood the other night against Boston, that really pissed me off. Like, because I was watching that play in real time. Kiefer Sherwood was going for the puck. Charlie McAvoy was not going for the puck whatsoever. He decides to go after Kiefer Sherwood's head, and that's bullshit, in my opinion.
But like, I just don't understand this fact. Like, looks like they're turning the NHL into a violent sport. That's what they're turning the NHL is slowly becoming into turning into. Like, it's just they're turning the NHL into a violent sport. Like, I don't wish
Yep.
injury on anybody. I do not wish any player to get injured. I'm not that type of guy. I never want to see it. But what are your thoughts? Why do you like? Are you like? The NHL is turning into this, and that's just something I don't appreciate that, because I want all players to be healthy for their whole career. And if some injury
Yeah.
happens, their career is gonna be ended. They're gonna be out for the season. They're probably never gonna come back. So that's just something I don't get about the sport. It's just like somebody has to explain this to me, or I'm gonna go berserk.
Yeah. I mean, I
I will
don't
lose
know,
my
but
mind. I will lose my mind if nobody explains this. It's just
that
like,
that's why the Chernyshov thing is very like it's very sad because he he had a great career ahead of him, or he has a great career ahead of him. But I don't think he's going to play the rest of the year, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't know if you heard the reports, but he had to go to the hospital. Like there was blood coming from his head. Like that is really scary stuff right there. And so I sadly don't think he's going to play again the rest of the year. But it's like I don't want to see that to our guys. Like I don't want to see that to anybody in the National Hockey League. Like I said, if any of these other teams,
so
Penguins, Devils,
that injury is very similar to, the Joe Pavelski's Jack Eichel from the Vegas Golden Knights, when Pavelski collided his head with the ice, and then Joe Thornton was there and all the teammates were there to go after him. To me, I think the Igor Chernyshov injury was that severe. You know the injury for
Yeah, I agree.
Pavelski when Pavelski got hurt. Remember that injury? It was, I think it was a playoff game,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken, for that. And
Yes.
Pavelski collided and hit his head on the ice, and it was like, Joe Thornton was like. That's why I like Joe Thornton really. Like Joe Thornton was there to support him. That's what I like about all these players who have who are playing together. I love this about the sport. That's what makes it such hockey such beautiful. That when somebody gets injured, everybody else gets together and like it's just that's what I love about hockey is that when one player gets injured, everybody else gets together and gets around him and puts the Joe Thornton put a towel on Pavelski's head when he was bleeding. So that's what I love about hockey. I mean, hockey is this, it reunites everybody, like all teammates who get together. That's what I love about hockey. That's why I watch hockey and I'm a diehard passionate fan of the sport.
I agree. I agree. But hey, Shardall, let's turn our attention to tomorrow night. We got the Ottawa Senators against the Sharks. Big game because, well, like I said earlier, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win these double headers or back
So
to
are you
back
gonna do
games.
are you gonna do another recap tomorrow after
Yeah,
Ottawa?
we're gonna go
I'll join.
live. We're gonna go live after the Ottawa
I'll
game, and
join you. I'll join you tomorrow.
yeah, you could join me tomorrow. But hey, it's gonna be a great game tomorrow. I know
So
Ottawa.
I went to the I went to the I believe I went to the Sharks and Blues game. And Kiefer Sherwood and I went to the player parking area where you told me about, and Kiefer Sherwood was there by his car, and I got his autograph.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. That is freaking awesome.
Yeah,
After a game.
so now when the Canucks are having a bad season, I can rub it in their face saying that I got Kiefer Sherwood's autograph, and because we got him. So,
Yep,
um,
yep. He's a great player.
so what are your thoughts tomorrow for Ottawa? Like, you think that we're gonna extend this winning streak because we're on a 2-game winning streak right now. We beat Boston, now we beat Montreal.
Yep,
Um,
we're back in the playoff race.
Yeah, the
Or
when I was watching the Bruins and Sharks game, it was so special because Will Smith is from like there were three players who were from Boston. I know Will
right.
Smith was from Boston, and then Macklin Celebrini went to Boston University, and then he got selected in the draft. Um, so yeah, so that's really touching that I think that Boston Sharks game was like one of the most emotional games for me to see Will Smith score that goal in front of the hometown that he was born in, and all like to see that moment was so touching. That was a very emotional game, and I'm glad we won that game and took down Boston. Now we just got to go into Ottawa, and is it a home game or is it a home or away?
It's on the road in Ottawa tomorrow. Um, by the
So
way, good
what are
news.
your
The Penguins have taken the lead over the Mammoths. So if Utah loses and we need Seattle to lose for the playoff race tonight, but
so
my thoughts on it.
what are your thoughts
Got
on
We got to get off to a
Ottawa
good
against
start.
San Jose tomorrow?
We
You think that we're gonna beat Ottawa? Because I really want us to extend this winning streak to 3 games. I mean,
I
that
think
would be so
Look,
beautiful.
I think we can. I think we could do it, but we have to get off to a good start, right? Because Ottawa's a good team, so we have to get off to a good start. We have to be able to get off to a fast start, play some really good defense out there, share the puck, don't turn the puck over. Then I think we'll be fine. Ottawa, like I said, they're a good team. The energy is going to be in the building, so we got to get off to a fast start. Is what I think we got to do.
So
We have to score early.
So if the Sharks get off on a hot streak, if the Sharks get off, if they if they get off to a good start tomorrow against Ottawa, we could beat Ottawa. But like you don't want to let these good teams like Ottawa, like all these good teams you play, you don't want to give
Yes.
them like because if you let them go, if you go easy on these teams, they could make you pay if you go easy on them. So you want to go as hard and put as much pressure as you want on these teams and make them pay because that's what they got to do tomorrow, man. They got to go hard. They got to bring everything they got tomorrow. They're resilient. I know they could do it. But yeah, but I know we got a lot of good players on our team. Like we got a lot of we're our roster's pretty stacked. We got Will Smith. We got Michael Misa, Kiefer Sherwood.
Yep. Yep.
So I know we're
Michael
gonna win
Mises.
tomorrow.
Michael Misa's been playing really well as of late. Got to give him a lot of credit.
But I gotta give credit to Macklin. I think he's a rising superstar on the Sharks. And I gotta give him credit that he's reached 35 goals at 19 years old. I mean that's amazing. Like he's at 34 goals in his at 19 years of age because he made that he Macklin Silbury had that goal today, the second goal, but it was waved off by the refs. I mean, like when you see goalie interference and goals getting waved off, does that really get under your skin? Because like Macklin could have had 35
Yeah,
goals today, but that goal got waved off by the refs. I think they did a coaches challenge, and then they reviewed the goal, and I think it was I don't know if it was kicked in or how it
no,
was
but
like
Macklin scored.
overturned.
No, Macklin did score one today. He scored two
No, I'm
actually.
saying he scored two.
Yeah, he scored 2 goals today.
So yeah, so I gotta say, he scored the 35 goals at 19 years of age. I mean, that has to say that Macklin is such a great teammate on the Sharks. All the players really admire him and love him. Whole fan base loves him. I think he's gonna have a good career. I think he's gonna surpass Connor Nathan McKinnon in goals. I believe Nathan McKinnon has 44 goals right now. So I think Macklin Celebrate can surpass Nathan McKinnon because Nathan McKinnon is doing so good. I mean, he has 44 goals. He's number one in goal scoring.
Right. Um.
Uh,
Oh, I think we lost Chardot. I don't know. I think he's having some tech issues. But guys, look, I gotta go. What a game by the Sharks. Respect our name is what I'm gonna say about this game. Respect the San Jose Sharks. And NHL, do something about that headhunting, please, because nobody wants to see that nonsense in the sport of hockey. But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and we thank you for tuning in to another edition of the What the TO Puck podcast. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you guys all again soon.